Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is Muhammad Ayaz, your mathematics teacher from Peshawar Model Schools VIII. Today we discuss mathematics of grade A, that is exercise 2.5, which is about complex number. We already discussed some features of this complex number in school, but literally we discussed the complex number is again. So what is complex number? So dear students, if you have your mathematics book, on page 68, here is the definition of complex number. A complex number actually is a combination of two terms. One is called the real and the other is the imaginary part. So generally we denoted the real part from A and the imaginary part by B with iota sign. Iota sign show the imaginary part of this complex number, and complex number we denote by Z. So Z is the symbol which show the complex number. So the general form of a complex number is Z equal to A plus B iota. So this is a general representation of a complex number. So dear students, after complex number, here is a name which is called conjugate. So conjugate of a complex number actually, if we write a bar, a prime on a Z, so it is a symbol of a complex number conjugate. So conjugate is represented by Z as well, but one bar above on it. And the other thing that a complex number is denoted by A plus B iota, but the conjugate of a complex number, standard form or general form is A minus B iota. So just change the sign of the iota number or imaginary number, we get the conjugate of that complex number. For example, here is the example, Z is equal to 5 plus 8 iota. So what will be the conjugate of this number? So the conjugate, first of all, we replace the Z with the Z bar or Z prime, and we just change the sign of iota number, which is plus 8 iota, and we write minus 8 iota. So this is our complex number, and here is the conjugate of this complex number. So now come to exercise 2.5, and today we discuss the question number 4, which is the divide question of a complex number. Divide the first complex number by second complex number. So question number 4, part number first, Z1, which is 2 plus iota, and Z2, which is 5 minus iota. So first of all, we will write a solution, and we repeat the question, which is 2 plus iota, and Z2 is 5 minus iota. So what's we require here? Actually we need a divide of first complex number by second. So we put here the Z1 and Z2 values. The value of Z1 is 2 plus iota, and value of Z2 is 5 minus iota. So after it, we eliminate the iota symbol from the denominator. So for the eliminating or removing the iota symbol from your division or from your denominator, here we take a conjugate of the denominator value, or we can say we will multiply and divide the conjugate of the denominator. So here we will mention that multiply and divide. Multiply and divide what? Conjugate of the denominator. You should multiply and divide the conjugate. So conjugate of this number is 5 plus iota. We will just change the sign of iota, so it will become the conjugate. So here we repeat our question. Z1 by Z2. After multiply sign, we write the conjugate above and below. The above portion is called multiplication and the below portion is called the division. So here the statement, according to statement, we multiply and divide the conjugate of this number. After it, as we mentioned the multiply sign, so we multiply the numerator with numerator and the denominator with denominator. So here we put these two complex number in brackets, a small bracket and the denominators as well. After it, we multiply both the numerators with each other and the denominator with each other. So we start the multiplication like first we multiply 2 with 5, that become 2 5s are 10. After it, we multiply this 2 with iota. So as the rule of multiplication, if you multiply a 2 number, so dear students, first you should multiply the sign. So here the sign of 2 is plus and the sign of iota is also plus. So plus and plus. So as we multiply plus with plus, we get the plus sign, positive sign. And then we multiply 2 with iota, so we get 2 iota. Because here is a hidden 1, we have a 1 with iota. So as we multiply a number with iota, so here the multiplications get this hidden 1. So it will increase with the multiplications. So the 2 multiply with this one, that become a 2 iota. After 2, as we multiply 2 with both number, so after it we multiply the iota, these two numbers. So first of all we multiply iota with 5. So first multiply the sign of iota with the sign of plus 5. So plus and this plus become plus iota with 5. So iota with 5 become 5 iota. After it we multiply iota with this iota. So here the plus and plus again multiply and we will get a plus sign, and then iota will multiply with iota, which become iota square. So iota square. Why? Because here is the power 1 and 1 that we didn't need to write, but if we required, so we will use for addition and multiplication. So as the basis is same, so in the multiplication law of indices, here the rule apply as the basis is same, so power should be added, the exponent should be added. So we add the above 1 and 1, which become a 2. which is square of iota. And if we see in denominator these two brackets if we multiply, so it will write, but if we apply a formula on these number, so it will very easy for us, because here is the form of formula, and which is the formula number third. If we see these two brackets have a same number, the first number is 5 and here is the first is 5, the second one is iota and in the second bracket is also the iota, just only changes in this sign. So here we mention by using formula. By using formula in a form of which show us if any number in a form of a minus b and a plus b, so it will equal a square and minus b square. So here we see, here is the form of a minus b and in a second bracket a plus b. So formula show us as any number in the form of a minus b and a plus b, it will equal to a square and minus b square. So instead of multiplication, we will just apply a formula on these two denominators bracket, which comes as like this: 5 square minus iota square, because formula show us as the two brackets have a same number, first number with equal first, second with second, and one bracket have positive and the other have a negative sign, so it become a formula which is a square minus b square. So the 5 is like a and iota is like b, so we just put a square. So no need to multiply these two bracket. If we multiply, so result will be same, but the formula show us a easy and simple way instead of multiplication. Okay, come to next step and see the 10 will become a 10. After it we see 2 iota and 5 iota. These two have a same basis. So if a number have a same basis, so you can add, multiply or divide and subtract. So these two are same basis and both have a positive sign. So these two will add. So we add the 5 with the 2, which become 7 iota. And here is what? Iota square. So the value of iota square, which is minus 1. We already discussed in school classes that the value of iota and the value of iota square. So here we put the value of iota square, and in denominator the square of 5. So 5 squares means 25. 5 fives are 25. Then negative sign, iota square again. So if we replace here the iota square with minus 1, so here we also replace the iota square with minus 1, and a little we mention here because iota square is equal to minus 1, because we replace the iota square with minus 1, the value of iota square is minus 1, therefore we replace these two iota square with minus 1. After it we multiply these sign with have a bracket, and outside of a bracket we multiply these two sign. So just we repeat these two number and we multiply plus minus, so minus, and the one will remain same, because the bracket show us it is a sign of multiplication. For a multiplication we can put bracket, multiply, or two brackets as well. So the bracket show us that these two sign is multiply with each other. So we multiply a plus sign with minus, so plus minus we get a negative sign, and the one no number is here. If we have a number here 2 or 3 something else, so then we multiply 1 with that a number. So here is no number, so just we multiply the sign, so plus minus and become minus. in the denominator 25, and the process will same. So these two negative sign will multiply with each other. So minus sign and minus, so minus minus gives us the result positive. So minus minus will become plus. So we put a plus sign and 1 will remain on here same place. After it, if we see, here is a one number, that is 10, and here is the second number, which is 7 iota, and at the last that is minus 1. So we get the result that the number which is between these two number actually not in arranging form, not a same, because the 10 is without iota and 1 is also without iota. So we need here is a little arrangement. So we arrange these two number. So we mention here, I just repeat, 10 plus 7 iota minus 1 and 25 plus 1. Okay, so I repeat just here. After it, we mention here a words that is called arranging. Why we need arranging here? Because I can add the 10 with 7 iota. So it is not possible, because the 7 have a base iota, and here is no base. So actually this 10 is, we can't add with 7. So here we need arranging for a same number. So we bring the 10 and this minus with 1. We bring the minus 1 near with 10 and little 1 step back the 7 iota. And after it, we add these two number. So 25 plus 1, we get 26. After the arranging, it is possible we can subtract these two number. So no, it is possible, because these two are real number. So a real number can add only with a real number, and imaginary number only can add and subtract with a imaginary number. So here we subtract the minus 1 from 10. So we get a 9, and the 7 iota will remain same, and the denominator will same. And here is also we see these two are two different number. One is 9, one is 7 iota. So the addition of these two number is not possible, because 7 is have a base iota. For example, I give an example in rough work. Suppose we have like this, one is 9, one is 7x. Can we add a 9 with 7x? No. Why? Because the 7 have a base x, and 9 is without base x. So if the base is not same, so we can add these two like different bases number. So on this rule, if the base is not same, we can add and subtract. So here the iota is also show the as like a base. So here the addition is not possible. So actually we have these number in a form of a complex. So complex number, though, so generally we denote as a form of a plus b iota. It's meaning the real part will be separate and the imaginary part will be separate. So here this line show that it's a one term, one number. So here we need to separate these two number. So we put the denominator 26 with 9, and here with 26 with 7 as well, and we put this iota little outside, because we see here a plus b then iota, not b and iota are mixed. So we not mix the iota with 7. So therefore we separate. So if after separation we see, so this is called a real part, and the second part is called the imaginary part. So this is the divisions of two complex number. Hope you will learn some points and you will get what is the purpose of this function and how we divide a two complex number. Okay, thank you. Allah Hafiz.